found most useful classes on evaluation, design, and methodology, and participatory approaches. Also classes that related to developing log frame and indicators around performance were also extremely useful, and I use them today in my career. I think what I would say to students is not to worry too much about the specific job that you want to do or exactly where you want to go. I would say get your feet wet in the field, go to the field. My first position was something that was completely different from what I ended up doing, but it was great exposure and experience with a large organization out in the field. So I would just advise people to just get out there, learn as much as you can about the context before you go. Try to learn the local language, or not the local language, but the language that they speak there, and be prepared to do whatever job it is, knowing that this will be a launching pad for the rest of your career. It was really over the years being in the field and recognizing the lack of accountability to affected people within the organizations that I worked for. The lack of participatory approaches, even though we talked a good talk about it in our reports, in reality these were more tick the box exercises where we would do a random focus group here and an interview there and call that a participatory approach. And I felt that there wasn't genuine accountability to the people who we were ultimately there to serve. And so I wanted to learn more about this growing field and how I could be involved in changing those power dynamics. Well, I think we still have a long way to go, but the rhetoric has certainly changed and people are more and more discussing this topic. I'm about to go to a conference in Addis that's held by ALNAP with hundreds of practitioners in the humanitarian sphere to just talk about this issue of improved engagement with affected people. And what's exciting is that new technologies and new approaches to how we deliver assistance, including cash transfers, has really helped to change this power imbalance. And there are new actors that are being recognized more and more in the humanitarian sphere, including the private sector, including local CBOs, the governments themselves, and we're all working to make it much more sustainable and inclusive of those other actors. Well, I hope students will keep lessons from this class in mind when they're out in the field and remain hopeful and optimistic about the potential that they can have in terms of changing these power dynamics. And as we learned in class, what people find most important, or what they remember most, are individuals who came to their communities and really listened to them and spoke to them about their situations and how they could help. And I think, I hope that students keep that in mind when they go out, that, it's their individual responsibility as well to engage with affected people and be that voice within their organizations.